In this week's episode of Album of a Lifetime, we're going to be speaking to Leeds-based band Swimwear. But before we get into their Album of a Lifetime, let's first find out a little bit about their band.
We're a four-piece indie rock band based in Leeds, and it sort of started over COVID because I was at Leeds Conservatoire at the time, and obviously I kind of found myself back home, and I hadn't really used Logic before, any kind of home recording stuff before, so I was like, I can't, the one thing I can do with COVID is do that. So I recorded some songs and sent them off to a guy, and he sort of, all kind of very remote, COVID-y sort of working. And then that kind of was there for 20 and 21, and then it was just a case of meeting the boys when COVID was kind of over and getting together in college, and that's kind of how the band of like San Francisco was sort of formed. And then we realised that you can't make merch for that. Well, making it look like a relative's been on holiday or something. So we've got to change that. We've got a song called Swimwear. Had a song had a song for a while, and it was just one of them that people would go, I like that song. What's that song called? I'm like, oh, that's called Swimwear. Oh, that's a cool name. I'm just kind of hearing that a lot, and we were pretty hell bent. Well, 3 out of 4 of us are pretty hell bent on changing the name. The drummer, I think he's still getting over it.
Yeah.
I think Ned's still getting over it, but we're quite kind of keen we needed a name change, and we were kind of like, well, if we're going to do it, this is when we've got to do it, and there was no sort of better ideas kicking about, so we just sort of went with Swimwear.
Now we've got to know a bit more about the band. Let's find out what song reflects their childhood.
Oh man, Upside Down by Jack Johnson. Have you seen Curious George? They're the film when he's like walking around the jungle and like winding everyone up. Yeah, that one. No, because I don't know, I'd have been 5 when that film came out. But I remember my dad getting me the sort of soundtrack on CD. That's how long ago it was.
That's so cute. I miss CDs, honestly.
Yeah, they were right, weren't they? Yeah. No, I to be fair, I still use them. I've still got a car with a very unreliable Bluetooth, so the CDs are good little safety net. But yeah, no, that song.
Aww.
You can't beat a good bit of Curious George, can we now? So, for this next part, we're going to uncover the coming-of-age song for Swimwear.
So I was at Leeds because we're all at Leeds Conservatoire, which is kind of like a music uni for those that sort of don't know. So it's, it put a bit of a dampener on it. You kind of it's kind of music, it's kind of people heavy, but it, good stuff come out of it. Like I did the kind of early San Fran tunes, and good stuff came out, and I kind of got to know a few people as well, just through blogs and, do you know what I mean, just sort of stuff like that, and you kind of do talking to people, and because everyone's trying to do something, so I think people were a little bit more open to speaking with you when it was COVID, because it was like, well, nothing better to do, so humour him for a bit.
That's cute, that. But yeah, sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there.
That's
so,
right.
What would you say is like your coming of age song that like describes like just, I don't know, or like you just think of when you're like thinking of a coming of age song?
Oh man, do you know what? It could be a few. There's a song called Kiss This by a band called The Struts.
I've heard of them.
The Struts, and it's like, I don't know, I'd been 13 when I saw them, maybe a little bit younger actually, and they were they were doing okay, I think, but I remember sort of hearing that song, and I saw them live as well, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's what I want to do, and that sort of set the trajectory for the next however many years. So that's I blame it all on that song.
But like, it'd be such a cute full circle moment if you ever got to like perform with them, or like.
Do you know what? It's really funny because we saw them. It was like 2014 or something. It was ages and ages ago, and I just remember, whatever you sort of think of it, I don't know. I wouldn't do it personally, but the singer went on like a little bit of a rant about how they're getting no help and it was really hard. And I'm stood in now going, yeah man, feel it. Okay.
Now it's time we all get a bit romantic on you and find out their song of the first love.
Oh man. To be fair, anything off that first Kooks record is like kind of teenage angst, sort of, do you know what I mean, kind of crushing on girls at school, sort of.
Yeah.
The whole thing just soundtracked all that. train wreck, to be honest. Yeah, I know it's not a song. If I was to pick a song off it, See the World is a good song. Well, it's a great album in it, but it's yeah, that album really sort of, they were sort of front and center as like a band for my that sort of teenage angst and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, love that.
Love
So
that,
cute.
love that album. Still.
To round things off nicely, we're going to discuss the song of your last breath.
So it's like I think we sped through life really quickly here because like we're now going on to like the song of your last breath.
Yeah. Middle age didn't even happen.
Like nothing happened in between, just like straight to death. But like so yeah, I said this to you before, like before the interview, but like it can be a song of either like while you listen a song you're listening to while you die or like while you're about to die, like where it just you go off to it, or a song you play at your funeral, or you can do a song for both if you want, because I think they are actually two very different kind of, I don't know, feelings, because one is kind of like in a way celebrating your life, and I think the other one is like something you're wanting to have that's quite intimate and for yourself. Do you know?
Yeah. Firstly, that's a great question. I think that's such a good question. I love it. And to be fair, the song's the same one. I didn't even have to think about it that hard. It was just straight same song. Like the last thing I'd want to hear, and a funeral song. Always look on the bright side of life. Do you know the Monty Python song?
I love that.
If you're gonna die, you might as well have a laugh about it. Do you know what I mean?
I just got an image of like everyone in the fucking church just like kind of like singing it like they do in Monty Python.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I'm sorry, like, that could have been like a really nice kind of thoughtful question. The last thing I want to hear, I was like, no. Always look on the on the bright side of life.
Thing is, you've got to laugh, like you got to laugh at these things and stuff like that. And I think sometimes, like when you pick something like too serious, it's like, I don't know. I like realistically, like if I was about to die, I wouldn't want to listen to like a really like depressing, like I don't know, like from the Smiths or like just a really like a really like I think songs that are quite sad, because I'd want to be like happy when I'm going, and like as well, I think if people were like going to a funeral and stuff like that, you want it to be like a nice kind of like ironic thing. You don't want it to be too serious and too depressing.
Yeah, you got to leave them laughing, haven't you? Always.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you got to leave them laughing, and I want to leave having a laugh. So yeah, no, I love that question though. That's a sick question. That's really cool.
Before we leave you, let's hear some honourable mentions.
So there's any other songs that you feel like are quite pivotal songs to you, like, or like have just like really had a big impact on your life or you as a person, that you might want to throw in there as well?
Yeah, I'd throw in She Bangs the Drum by the Stone Roses, because that kind of that all sort of started like the first band that I was ever in, because it was we were in sixth form, and I was kind of sat with a mate of a mate who I kind of knew but didn't like know him that well, and anyway we kind of really got on, and then the girl that we were probably a pain in the ass, and this girl that sat in front of us was like, oh, you two are like the two guys out of that film Spike Island. And obviously, we'd never seen this film, and like that, we totally started out. We were like, "Oh yeah, that's funny." Yeah, and then without even communicating, we both went home and watched that film, and we're like, "Oh my god, it's great!" And Art of the Stone Roses is amazing, and so that I always kind of associate, because that's the film opens to that song. If you've seen it, it's kind of them breaking into the school to She Bangs the Drum.
I've not actually seen it, and I feel I was about to like lie there myself and be like, yeah, I know that film, it's really good, but like
I did. Yeah. But no, it's great if you've not seen it. It's yeah, and so yeah, and off the back of that we were both like, oh yeah, the Stone Roses are amazing, and then we both spent the next 2 years pretending to be the Stone Roses. But yeah, so I've got really
Perfect.
yeah, pretty much. So no, that song, and to be honest, that whole record, but that song especially, it will always kind of hold quite a special place in my heart.
oh, it's so sweet. I was gonna say such humble beginnings, but it's just like it's very kind of like very pure and stuff like that. I think it feels like a little coming of age story as well, where it's just like two guys just like chilling and like wanting to be like the Stone Roses. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely like a Channel 4 show in it or something. Like, but no, but yeah, you know, it was like right place, right time, and you know, it was it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, wasn't all that lovely? If you like the sound of swimwear, here's some exciting things for you to look forward to in the future.
Recording's happening. I promise. Recording's happening. I promise. Lots of recordings happening. There'll be new tunes soon. So it's been a while, but promise new tunes are coming. And something really, really, really exciting to announce in April. So keep your eyes and ears peeled because it's gonna be good.